It's rolling. Hey everybody, I'm Justin Slates. I'm getting it going just on the off season. This guy came back in town right here. I'm glad because he's definitely been helping me and guiding. He makes me motivated to eat good because, you know, I'm looking at him and he's eating good, and then he can eat bad, and then he loses weight and I eat bad, and I'm pretty much going on my 600-pound life. So, you know, I got to make sure I'm eating good.
You're doing well. You're doing good.
I like how he said is like I look like I'm 15 weeks out, and I haven't even been really trying to like stay too like get really lean, but just doing rice and protein like Justin Harris told me to do. And I really appreciate it, man, that you coached me. It was a tough time. I didn't do too well in the Western. It was kind of difficult, you know. I don't want to make excuses, but I had like 14 seizures throughout 20 weeks. I ended up having to go to the ER 3 times. The first week I had a massive seizure, was in the ER. Then the second time I went in the ER, it was crazy. I just had to get on a new medicine, and damn, just out of nowhere, I'm getting itches everywhere, getting bruises everywhere. And it's like, then I see something in my leg. I'm like, what is going on? I'm seeing a little bit damp. I put up, my leg was bleeding because of just how like raw my skin was, came out of nowhere. And then next thing you know, I just went to the bathroom, blood's coming out, that wasn't good. And then next thing you know, I stand up, look in the mirror, my nose is bleeding for some reason. It was just the right one. I was like, all right, I gotta go to the ER. I just continuously was thinking, I'm like thinking, am I getting cancer again? Because it's like every single sign, and like sometimes that happens, you know, you could be perfectly fine, but you get these side effects, and it's just like, whoa, you know, I'm always gonna have to be worried about that.
Do you think you're getting more seizures when you diet and when you're under more stress?
That I don't think so. I really don't think so, because it's mainly just the damage area, you know.
But you said you're getting a procedure that's
yeah,
going to help cut down on
the
seizures?
Yeah, I plan to try to like get some serious bulk in, and then after that I'm going to have this spec testing, that's what they call it, and they're going to be putting a specific dye in one of my veins that's going to, how do you put it, because it's like dyeing to where you could see, what is that called?
Where the circulation is like the
contrast, yeah. So it's basically putting this dye to where they're going to be inducing me into seizures again. This will be my 3rd time. This is going to be crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was like, so doing that, I'm going to be having seizures. The whole point of that dye is to find the exact spot in the area where they'll have to, you know, put the chip in. I'm getting RNS, and that's basically like a pacemaker,
right,
you know, but it's for your brain, and the whole point of it is to control the brain waves, all that. I like that, and it's just like saying is like, if we don't do this within the next 10 years, they don't know if it could get worse or not, but they don't want to play it, because these are the 2 areas that were removed were already memory, had to deal with my short-term memory. And they said if they have to remove that, had another memory, it's basically like I'm going to end up kind of in a way having Alzheimer's at 40.
Wow, yeah.
You know, that's not exactly
right.
good.
No.
I'm like, dude, if I'm only 40 and dealing with that.
Well, hopefully the procedure will help you.
I believe so.
Where, you know, you can concentrate more on your competing in the
future. It's like you want to feel
you had
safe.
More seizures though last time
Yeah.
you tried to compete. Right?
Yeah. Well, you know, I was hoping. It was main reason why was because of all these medicines, continuously side effect after side effect. So we try to get on a new one, and then it was on my Lamictal. It's like the only medicine, no side effects.
Your seizures seem to be more related to like when you're under stress.
That definitely can affect it.
Well, I haven't told anybody yet, but I've developed paroxysmal AFib, where my heart gets out of rhythm.
Yeah.
The upper chamber, and it comes and goes.
Right.
That's the reason I haven't competed, and this past year is I've developed this problem. Now I'm getting older and I'm thinking more about, you know, my health issues. And, you know, is this, I kind of wondered now that I've developed paroxysmal AFib, if I've done damage, and am I going to have to go, should I retire? These are the questions I'm asking myself, you know.
You were
but
thinking possibly classic then?
yeah, I was thinking
That
that's
fits in
another option. I was thinking, so I don't have to take and go as crazy. I don't have to be as heavy as, you know, maybe start.
I tell him all the time, man. I swear to God, if they had classic at his time and he competed, in
Yeah,
that,
they
it would have been
didn't.
perfect. He would
In
already
2006, I think, you know, when I did my first national, I did the USA. I think I weighed in at like 211 pounds the night before at 5'11", you know, which is, that's classic physique weight now, you know, and I still managed to pull off 7th place and at the USA as a heavyweight, you know, and that's
pretty good.
That's really not bad, you know. But nowadays, there's no person's earning a pro card in regular bodybuilding at that weight at 5'11", unless you're much shorter or whatever, a different class.
Yeah.
You know,
You're talking about that one bodybuilder that is a classic. You showed me that guy. He was a black guy. He was a shorter guy and he looked great. You told me you liked him the most.
I'm not sure.
Oh, well,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure who was
He's
on.
the one that introduces me to him too. Wow. He's like, this is my favorite one.
I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head right now, but
I was just gonna say, it's
yeah.
like he looked great, you know. And that's the thing about classic. I mean, it seems like that's what bodybuilding is. Of course,
Yeah.
I love my bodybuilding, and it's like the only thing I'm going to do. I did the research on it. If I was to do classic physique, I have to get down to 190 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't think I should do that.
I think right now, I think I would have to be 212 at 5'11" or 6 foot.
Yeah, that's
I
not
guess you
bad.
could. I might be able to come in at a 6 foot,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
weight. I don't know. I don't know if there's some kind of a little bit of a loophole or anything if they let you slide.
One for pros, it's 10 pounds heavier, I believe, right? I think so.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, I haven't competed since, what was it, 2016. I did the Ferrigno Legacy, and then right before that, I did the Golden State Pro, and I honestly think in 2016. That's probably when I looked my all-time best.
What was
I
your
think
place?
I placed 6th at the Golden State Pro that year, and I felt I could have been a little higher, but no, I think
How'd the Lou Ferrigno one? You
that
did
one I kind of bombed out. I kind of lost a little size between the Golden State Pro about 8 weeks later, because that was I think it was in July, and then in Golden State I think was in end of August, or no, October. I think it was October actually. But yeah, I just had ended up losing too much size by the time, I don't know, at the Golden State Pro, I actually think I weighed in at what I'm weighing right now, off season. I think I weighed in at like 230 pounds, so I must have had a good 10 more pounds of muscle than I have right now. So yeah, I think, I think right now, I think it would be probably better if maybe I did try to come down to classic. I don't know. Everybody will have to give me input and see what they think, what might be my better option. But like I said, I'm been dealing with this AFib lately, and there's the procedure where they can go in and do an ablation and burn the spots that are causing the electrical disturbance in the heart. From what I understand, it's just kind of an electrical problem, but at the same time, I want to do things healthy, and it's like maybe that's why, maybe I might be done with the regular bodybuilding.
That makes sense.
I don't need to be quite as heavy anymore, now I'm 45 years old, so I'm kind of starting to think more about the health
You
aspects
look so old.
of things.
I swear to
Yeah.
God, you look so old.
I think I'm aging okay.
Yeah, you are. You're doing pretty well.
I think I'm doing okay, but yeah, there might be the side of thing. Maybe I can just help coach people along now, like
Yeah, I would like
Jay
it. I
and-
mean, I
and
just
help.
like him guiding me. I'm not saying he has to coach me, but
He's
just
got-
guiding together, which is good. If he has to say, "Dude, you look like shit."
This
come on,
guy
you
has
gotta pick up.
this guy has got really good genetics. I think he just needs someone to guide him who's good at conditioning. And that's
Yeah,
kind
you're
of
good
always
at
what
it.
I took my pride in, was conditioning, and this, I think that's all he really needs help is. He's got the muscle belly structure, and
I'm at that point
and-
where I get it. I mean, you got to put the size to the side, and you just got to focus on leaning down, even if you have to get some muscle off you, whatever, as long as everything's showing, Like I talked, I'm glad Justin Harris coached me, great guy. He was telling about how some people, he just said, hey, some had injuries like this and that, and they could only train so much, but he still made sure they could get as shredded as possible. I think he was telling me one guy had a few injuries, and he would do light stuff and only did cardio. I mean, you'd have to ask him. That was something he said. But, that makes sense, though. Everything needs to be shown. I get it. It's just I guess an ego thing.
it always helps. Yeah, it always helps to have a second eye on you.
Yeah.
I was kind of a little bullheaded myself. I always did my own
You
dieting.
had Dave, right? Dave.
Yeah, I worked with Dave. Let's see, my first nationals was in 2006 at the USA, and I did all my own dieting and prep all the way up till finally, 2012, I decided to break down and get help this time. So I hit up Dave Palumbo, and he was probably one of the most affordable gurus, I would say. So I hit him up, and he's always been super nice to me and kind to me in the
Well,
past.
that's a nice
so
way to put it.
so
He's affordable. Such
yeah,
a nice guy.
but no, I mean, I think he made me realize, well, geez, I wasn't doing enough of this, or I wasn't doing enough of that, and he helped get me to that next conditioning level.
Yeah, I've always heard positive stuff about Dave. He's very.
Yeah, and then it's like
know.
so that's why it just pays to have another eye on you, because they're going to be, everybody's been through something that they can tell you something that you're not doing that you could add,
Oh yeah.
that's going to help your prep, so don't be bullheaded, and don't ask for help. It always helps to have another eye on you.
What drove you into the industry, Dan? I never heard that story.
What drove me into the industry? Oh,
Or into
geez.
bodybuilding,
What drove me into bodybuilding, huh?
You don't even know.
No, I think goes back to like high school, like, lifting weights for football, and like realizing, I had pretty good genetics, and back in high school, I think I had a friend that, we looked at the bodybuilding magazines together, and back then, it was time of like Bob Parrish, Lee Haney, and, Leland Brada, and just looking at all those guys, it was inspiring. And then, I had another friend that had dad would take him to Fitness USA's place, a club in the morning. I'd go wake up super early and go with them, and then I got kind of hooked on it from there, and then I started training with weights in my parents' basement, and then it was right around my senior year. I go all the way back to 1993. I think, were you even born?
I was 3 years old.
You're 3 years old. Okay, so I did my first show when you were 3 years old. So
Yeah.
I did a local show in South Bend, Indiana, and I was 18 years old, and that was my first show. And I went on the Navy from there on, and I think I came home from the Navy, and then I did another show like in '94, and then it just kind of took off from there. And then eventually I moved out to California back in 2004. It was right after I moved out to California. Then I decided, I feel like it's time, pursue this, because it's always in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
And I did like a Muscle Beach show, and out there I met Bill Comstock, and he hooked me up with, I'd put my name out there to photographers and stuff in the past, and nobody ever really took me seriously until Bill saw me at Muscle Beach on 4th of July show, and 2004, and then from there it kind of seemed like things kind of took off from me. You know, he lined me up with a bunch of Robert Reef and Alex Ardeni, different photographers, and I shot a couple covers and
Taco Bell commercial.
And eventually, I got castings for some commercial castings. You know, so it just kind of took off from there. And then, like I said, I think I did the Indiana show before I moved out to California in 2003, and I qualified. So I was actually already nationally qualified. And then in 2006 is when I did my first USA. And then that's when I started pursuing my pro card. It took 6 years to do it because, like I said, I think because maybe I was a little bullheaded and I should have asked for help. You know, long.
They were only giving out one card a show.
Oh yeah, back then it was much more difficult to earn a pro card. You know.
That 09 year was really good of you.
No, I got 2009 North American, got to compete against Sean Roden that year, and I took third place in the heavyweights that year, and Sean went on to win the heavy. So I've got to compete against a lot of great competitors and stuff over there. In 2011, I think I placed third up against Juan Morel, and you know, so yeah, I've got definitely.
What was that?
And then in 2012, I got to compete against Dallas McCarver at the North American. You know, rest in peace. Like that was a heartbreaker.
So young, man. He's younger than me.
Yeah, it was really, really sad. But
They still have that overall threshold.
yeah, I mean that was a big debate whether I should have taken it over Dallas, but you know, I always tell everybody though the better guy won that show. You know, even though maybe I looked better that particular day, but he went on to inspire a lot of people, and you know, he's definitely a workhorse of the sport and super nice guy. You know,
I remember when I met him, I was like so impressed, and he was like, "I'm looking at a guy." I was like 23, and I'm looking at a guy that's younger than me that's looking like that. I'm like, damn.
Well, I think when I stepped on stage with him at that North American in 2012, I think it was only second show, and you know he was when we came. We had came off a stage, and he looked over at me and he looked at me and said, "Did I do well?" And I was like, "Yeah." I just kind of laughed. I said, "Yeah, you did really well." You know, it was just kind of funny how naive he was, you know, still at the time.
I remember seeing that picture. I think it was on RX Muscle, and that was when it was like they took that picture of him when he won it. I was like looking at him, I was like, damn, he looks great. He looks great.
He really did, yeah.
What's crazy, though, I didn't see your picture. So, I mean, obviously they only want to show the winner, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, I was the Masters 35, you know, winner, so I guess it's not as prestigious or whatever, you know, but I did what I ultimately set out to do, and that was earn my pro card, you know, and so I was happy, you know, that it worked out. You know.
Right, it's good, man.
And I've only done 3 pro shows since I've earned my pro card in 2012, but like I said, hopefully I'll get feeling better, and I can get, you know, maybe I'll drop down to Classic here and see. Everybody's always telling me I think I do really well in Classic, so maybe we can go that route and see.
I mean, I've told him this. I was like, I know, like, I've had my health issues, and he has his, but I say to myself, I wouldn't even want to have that. Even though I've had that, it's like I'm almost used to that. I don't know if I could handle that.
I don't know. Like, I wouldn't want to what your problem. I think I don't feel like mine is really that. You know,
I think
how
it'd feel having to just.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to your heart though, or your brain, you know, you got to be careful, and it's like I said, I'm not getting any younger, so I need to be a little cautious. I think I can still play it safe, and that's why it's a better option. I don't have to be as heavy. It won't be as hard on my heart. You know, Classic.
Yeah, that would be good.
Would be a better option for me.
I mean, the lighter you are, the.
So what show are you thinking about doing next?
I want to get this bulk done, and then of course I got to get that procedure done. And my plan is to, if I have when I have the surgery, I'm going to make sure it's after a comp I do. I want to say I'm going to try to do the Arnold NPC comp, but I definitely make sure I'm like shredded like crazy. It's just, I feel like that's the best one to time out because of what I have going on. And otherwise, the comps down the road, it's like, it's going to be wild. Then I'm going to be waiting maybe a year and a half, who knows longer. And I don't know how long they're willing to wait to get the surgery done. So it's like, I need to try to figure out some time.
Well, you're still young, so I think you got plenty of time. I think.
Yeah, I mean,
get your health issues taken care of. Get this procedure done.
Yeah, I mean,
just keep training for size while you're waiting.
Yeah,
you know,
I like the
just
idea
like,
of just competing. Obviously, you know, look as good as you can, but just another way of networking, getting a name out there. Him by my side definitely would help. You know, the more people you know, the better.
Right.
You know, and I'll get that done, get that in, and then I'll have more testing, and that one will be crazy because after that, after the spec one, this is where it's nuts. I got to do another test I have to do another seizure evaluation. Be ready for this. They're going to drill a hole in my skull in a specific area.
Wow.
And they're going, because like the spec is to find the area. Then the one where they're drilling the hole got to find the exact same spot, and they're going to be putting these pins on there. I won't be feeling it. There's no nerves, right, on the brain, I guess.
Right.
And then it's like, so they're going to be doing that, and for 14 days, I will be having my head wrapped, and I'll be having seizures again as my skull is cut open. And it's like, I'm going to be doing that, and then after that, they're going to be doing another surgery. Like, I don't know how they plan, you know.
Now, did we mention how you ended up getting these seizures during this interview? Did we tell them
I've
how
told
this
them in
all-
the past,
Okay,
you know, I mean,
okay.
like, I'll say it again, you know, it was difficult. I mean, at 8 years old, automatically, you know, just chemotherapy hit me out of nowhere. Had a
You
stroke.
developed brain cancer at age 5, right? Or
I had leukemia.
Or leukemia,
at
okay.
age 6. Didn't
Okay.
fully, and it, like right away, you know, they consider you, they did not diagnose you, and they already got you in remission, but to fully recover, as in they are looking at you, make sure everything's fine. That took 6 years.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
it was like, I just keep pushing forward, though. I mean, that's all you can do. You can't bitch, you know.
Right. Right.
You know?
And what was the last show you did?
I did that Western one, you know, like I said, it was troubling, you know, but I even 10 days out from that comp, I had a seizure. 10 days out. 10 days out.
That's pretty tough.
And I, like, you were telling me, Jeff, Justin's telling me, dude, you can shut it down. We can try next year. But it's just like thinking, you never know what's going to happen. Coronavirus.
Right. Right.
And I was like, I just pulled it off and I did it. To me, though, this is the thing. I believe for sure that was the best I ever looked. And that helped. Definitely a lot. So that's why I'm saying I got to definitely give a lot of credit to Justin Harris, because I know for a fact if I didn't have any health issues throughout that whole time, I would have won that comp for sure. You know, but the thing is, after a seizure, I go a good 3 days, possibly a week, just lying in bed,
Yeah, that's gotta be
feeling just
That's gotta be
depression.
hard.
And then I get those, like I said this last comp, it's like, I was like, why do you think like this? You know, you shouldn't think negative. Dude, you tell my brain that.
Right.
You tell that comes out of nowhere. I can't help. Oh, I really wish I could control that.
Right.
How can you help that? What am I supposed to do?
Right. Right.
Well, okay,
Well, that's
but
good.
we'll catch up with you guys in a few weeks. I'll come back out. And
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I might head back to California. I got to take care of something. I'm actually highly considering, but
You're not leaving.
moving back to Indiana.
Not leaving.
We'll see. I haven't 100% decided
Wait a
yet,
second.
but I've been
Are you,
living. But I've been living out in California since, what was it, 2004, and you know, I periodically come back here for usually a couple weeks at a time. You know, spend time with my mother, and you know, but I don't know, things with this, since this whole Corona thing's getting kind of crazy in California. So I don't know, you know, now with the riots and stuff, and
Yeah, it's
I don't
crazy.
know. I just,
Well,
yeah,
then
I don't know. It's like I said, I'm going to play it by ear. I need to go back and take care of some business in Cali, and And we'll see if I make
Well,
it
wait a
back here
second.
before the end of the year.
Didn't you say you were going to be a professional pool player now?
Yes, that's my next thing I'm
It's like
working
we
on.
have
I've
something
been
to do. And it's like
since
we just play pool.
since the lockdown. It's like
get
I've just been
frustrated, like-
playing hours and hours of billiards now.
This is
So it's
cool.
something to do, and he's
It's like, yeah, let's play pool.
he's
shoots.
competitive.
It was like, okay, it's a half hour. It's like, do I get to go? Because it's like every single one knocks it
You'll
in.
get better though. We'll
Yeah.
keep working on that too, and so.
We'll try to do it. We'll make it work.
Okay.